Glory, according to the Lord Commissar, is loyalty perfected. We'll see how loyal his guardsmen remain when he faces off against the brother captain of the Grey Knights, going to be played by Guruskippy here. Ordo Malleus versus Imperial Guard. Bit of a strange matchup, this one. If you go for guardsmen, generally you want to outtrade the opponent in ranged fights, but the problem is Grey Knights don't want to just stand and trade in ranged combat. That's not what they're all about. They want to get in, get out with hit and runs. So, as you're seeing right now, Zeraf is not purchasing a second guardsman because the meta instead for this matchup is to just go straight to double Cadishans. That allows you to handle the hit and run gameplay better because Cadishans are stronger as isolated units than the guardsman can be. You also know that the opponent isn't going to be standing and trading with you most likely, so you don't need the second guardsman to be repairing your sentinel. Now, if the Ordo Malleus opts for a load of inquisitorial troops, let's say they go for triple IST, and don't get any strike squad, that would be, in my opinion, very suboptimal, but they could do it. Perhaps they want to overwhelm the sentinel with DPS early on, focus fire your commissar, etc. The problem is that basically they're going to get out-traded by the IG with the sentinel and the guardsman being a lot more cost-effective in ranged firefights. So in that case, you would respond by getting a second guardsman, as well as probably getting the upgrade to make your commissar a bit more tanky because he's going to be able to bleed IST very easily. You'll notice that the IST are running around the sidelines here, capping, avoiding combat, because they are the weakness right now of Guruskippy's army. They are very weak, very, very squishy, and they can bleed. The Sentinel and the Lord Commissar will cause a lot of problems for them, but right now, a good little ambush here onto the Sentinel. Can the IST take it out? No. Alright, well they're going to force it off. Only one guardsman means that that Sentinel can't be repaired for a while. You see the guardsman here moving back, getting into position to repair them. You can also see the Lord Commissar just loitering down by the base in range stance, delaying the strike squad. Cadishans really are brilliant in the matchup. Not only are they good in general at just fighting 1v1s, but they're power melee, right? So they deter the assault of the Grey Knights in melee. They do struggle to scale somewhat. Not good in army versus army fights without buffs, though you do have the opportunity to get Bionic Iron Tier 2 to help with that. But once the strike squad get their Justicar, they will win a 1v1 melee fight against the Cadishans. But generally in Tier 1, you're going to be quite robust. So you often see a kind of 1-1-1-1 build from the Ordo Malleus to respond. Interceptors to deal with any heavy weapons teams to put on pressure and gain mobility on the map. And then Purgation to actually do nice AoE damage to the Cadishans and shut down their shotguns. Ooh, this is actually quite interesting. We're seeing operatives instead. That's unusual because operatives will get outshot by Cadishans very easily. Operatives are the epitome of a hit and run unit. They're faster than Cadishan Devils. They can throw their grenades from afar and do damage over time. They're a support unit. Cadishans, they're not. They're meant to be more close range support. So if both the operatives and the Cadishans are just standing there trading with one another with their shotguns, the operatives will lose quite badly. So I'm quite keen to see how the operatives are going to be used. So we're seeing the Sentinel stomp as well here. Not doing too much there with the initial stomp, but obviously double Cadishans flanking around here. You've got risk of IEDs in retreat, power melee in retreat. You just got to get your strike squad out of there. One of the good things about the strike squad though against the Cadishans is they can actually drain that energy. Stop them spamming abilities quite so much. Can we get a kill on the Commissar here with another teleport? Maybe. No, I think he's missed it now, maybe. I don't know how much damage per hit they do. I think they probably do. They've got to do over 20, right? So he probably could have got that, to be honest. This is not looking good. He's kind of missed the incendiary grenade. And then another Cadishan in retreat. Not ideal. Operatives Really odd choice, to be honest. No war gear here onto the BC. BC is actually quite good against the Kadishans. When you use Weir the Hammer, you get this splash, and because of all the models that the Kadishans have, it's actually quite good against them. He can 1v1 them. The counterplay for the Kadishans is to simply walk away. Oh, the Kadishans might kill the BC here. Yeah. Steered him way too long, went too deep. These strike squads should have been in melee. Very surprised not to see the Power Sword and the Commissar. It feels kind of no-brainer against this composition. Oh, Zeraf has made a big mistake here. He's gone triple Kadishans. This has to be Overwatch. There's no way this would be intentional. Wow, but Guru's not even that far ahead in tech, because he just rebought his BC instead of going tier 2. Oh dear. I really don't like these operatives. They're not very good. If you had Purgation, you know, you could shut down this guy, keep him suppressed. I like that play. Knocks them over with the Interceptor teleport and then charges with a strike squad. Too many Grey Knights right there for one Kadishan to deal with, especially when they're not full HP to start with. Not seeing any IEDs yet. I suppose that's actually why he went for the operatives, now that I think about it. They're the only detector for the Ordo Malleus, which is kind of a problem for OM as well. The fact that these guys are the only detector, yet they're close range shotguns that are so vulnerable to piercing damage, it's a problem. And you can see there, double Kadishans absolutely mincing that Interceptor squad that teleported in. You know, they can do okay against one squad. I'm not even sure if they'd beat them, but certainly against two they're going to get wrecked. Can the Strike Squad take out the Sentinel here? Sentinel trying to bait them across the IED, but the Strike Squad now stopped moving and shooting the Stormbolters. Oh, so close. 17 HP. That feels bad. It's so satisfying to kill a Sentinel, but so frustrating when it gets away with 17 HP. You see the splash there from the WAF, doing some good damage to the Kadishans. But of course, there are triple Kadishans on the field, so still there are two Kadishans running around scaring this strike squad. The map control is definitely favourable to Zeraf. But as I say, the Kadishans, they don't scale as well as Interceptors and Strike Squad into Tier 2. So we shall see.
Sir, we're losing a victory point out there.
War gear on the BC could be useful here. If he gets his halberd for splash damage, that could be quite useful against the Kadishans. Any AoE damage is generally quite good against them. If you can bleed them, then it will bleed power, not just wreck. And I feel like the Brother Captain's been getting into combat quite a few times here without risking himself too much. So some investments to make him tankier could be useful alongside that halberd. There's no point making him tankier prior to getting a weapon upgrade because he's not really doing any damage, so what does it really matter if he's in combat a little bit longer? If he got rid of the Sentinel, then he could have gone for the Razorback. But with the Sentinel just getting a missile launcher feels pretty bad. Of course, all these Kadishans, when they get their Sarge, he has a melter, so they can do soft AV damage. But only from a short range. So in theory, you should be able to kite it. He's going to go for the Rhino anyway, but the missile launcher Sentinel's a serious threat. Do we have a Justicar? No, so these guys just teleport in for a bit of disruption, get out of there. Missed the opportunity for double Kadishan power melee and retreat, might have killed another strike squad. Honestly, he could have planted an IED too there. So a few misplays there from Zeraf. I'll be honest, this matchup feels very bad for Ordo Malleus. It's hard. Because you want the Purgation to counter Kadishans better, but yeah, then you do that, you're very vulnerable to IEDs. And an IED can literally one-shot a default ISD squad. So, pretty scary. And even if you're not one-shotting things, you're making them bleed. Constantly weakening things. Sergeant has arrived on the Inquisitorial Operatives. He's got a melter bomb, so needs to be wary of that. Okay, this is quite funny. We've got the Chimera and we've got a heavy bolter Rhino. Psych out grenades could be quite good here for the interceptors with just the carry. It drains the energy of everyone around. You've seen the triple Kadashins there. It could have just drained all their energy. So no anti-vehicle capabilities on the two transports here, but of course those triple Kadashins with their melters are quite threatening, as you've seen, but you know, we're getting some damage on them. There's a bit of chip. A little bit. Oh, but there's the Missile Sentinel, and this is quite concerning right now. Zeraf somewhat messing up there with his mines. I assume he wanted to drop the mines and hit the mines with an old reliable from the Kadashins to make them blow up prior to actually brocking. Oh my god, the damage on that IST squad. But he needed to put the mines this way to snare the Rhino rather than this way. Then maybe the Sentinel could have finished it off. I mean, right now, very oppressive situation. I don't know how Guru's going to deal with this, really. He's got his Justicars, so that will help. And he's got his Sergeant over here on the Operative, so he's got a Melter. But he doesn't have any real AV. He's only got a Melter Bomb. That's only going to take you so far, right? You can see the Kadashins are always less than full HP though now, which is helpful. Probably wants to get the Aura of Discipline to heal them up. He's got to take out this Sentinel. It's the only serious AV. I mean, if the Razorback gets too close to the Kadashins, they're also a threat, but if the Sentinel's gone, things should be good. So that's what he's doing. He's hit it with a Melter and he's trying to focus fire it, but there was a really good stomp stunning a lot of the strike squads, and you've got triple explosive shot. You've got this Commissar now. He's got the power sword, so he's flinging people around with the battle cry effect. Looks like the interceptors might kill it though. It's already used the stomp. There you go. Sentinel's gonna die. Okay, good. Honestly, not that bad for Guruskippy. Only lost one strike squad model. He's gonna start losing. Oh no, he lost the operatives. Oh shit. No, that's not good. Damn it. If he only lost the strikes and a couple of IST and operatives, that would have been a great engagement because he's dealt with a core unit and he's actually taking out the Kadashin Devils over here as well. Guess he must have got the jump on them, disrupted them, a lot of free damage. Like I say, you get these Justicars out. Your Grey Knights are a lot stronger, but got to retreat here. He's got quite a bit of power melee on him, probably going to lose a few more. Oh, really late on his execute there, that wasn't great. Wow, even with the execute old reliable, making him do double damage, they don't even kill a model. Quite lucky there for Guruskippy. It's going to help him a lot. But still, no AV to actually kill the Chimera. Oh dear. I mean, this is good for Zeraf because he has the VP. So he doesn't need to get things coming out. All he needs to do is force off that IST squad now. Shouldn't be too difficult. Guardsmen running around with plasma guns and 6 models. It's so funny. This is a very interesting meta. These guys just trying to zone each other out is quite amusing to me as well. We've got a Vindicator Assassin now for Guru. Okay, so that can be some dedicated anti-vehicle with his turbo penetrator rounds. Throw a psych out. There we go, boom. Ooh, I think he dodged it. There we go, we got the Vindicator. Chimera hiding behind the wall here. Very awkward. Guru's got a serious VP problem. Pressure is really on right now. Yeah, Zeraf going tier 3. Makes sense when he's up this much on VPs. 430 to 120. My god. That is a big VP lead. What's the plan, Guru? You gotta do something, mate. I mean, he's getting his natural back now, slowly but surely. He's got no power farm. So it would be quite amazing if he wins it. I mean, obviously, you know, killing the Cadishans and the Sentinel for an operative is pretty decent. It's got the... is that the Mantle of Terror? Yeah, the Mantle of Terror on the Brother Captain. Bit of a strange choice. Oh, this is brave. He's teleported into Bionic Eye executed Kadishan Devils that are getting buffed by the Inspire. Yeah, that was a really bad idea. That was really bad. So the Bionic Eye makes them... is it immune to suppression? Yeah, immune to suppression, and it heals all the other models in the squad at the price of killing one of them, and it also gives the plus 100% damage that you expect, and a speed boost, which is why it's even scarier. So you start losing the fight, they can chase you down and retreat and kill you, which normally Kadishans can't because they don't have a melee charge. But your Kadishans need to stay inside there. This is a level 2 strike squad with a Justicar and a lot of supporting fire. Not great, but it's so funny because there's no real AV. Oh, there is now! Vindicate. Got a good shot on the Chimera there, but the other Kadishans disrupting him with the good old Reliable. Put in his Exodus rounds, trying to bleed these Kadishans. They are bleeding. It's the Canticle of Absolution coming down, only to buff the HP and energy of the Strike Squad though, which feels quite bad. Countered by a global from the Commissar that I see so rarely I forgot the name of. This little golden one, you see the crazy amount of HP. Oh, this is nice. Oh, he missed it again. He missed the combo with the mines and the old Reliable. Missed the combo. Oh, he's got to get out of there. Zeraf is pushing too deep here, and he's bleeding quite a lot actually. It's delaying him from getting any tier 3 units out. So, did we? Oh, we lost the interceptors. Where did the interceptors die? I find this odd. So. I don't know what's going. I wish... this war gear has always annoyed me, right? I reworked this war gear for the Brother Captain when I was lead designer of the mod like 5 years ago. Maybe longer, maybe longer. Oh bloody hell, it's gone now. We can't see it because the Bro Cap died. For God's sake. Basically, your tier 1 armor for the Brother Captain, the Aegis armor, that's your typical tanky melee hero armor. It gives him more max HP and it gives him the shield, and then you can double down on that by getting the Unending Purge accessory. So the thing is with the BC, he has a spellcasting kit as well. You can get the Bulwark accessory and it gives him a nice buff support spell. Cool. So you want some war gears that help him with that spellcasting, and that is the design intention of the Mantle of Terror. It increases his energy, and it improves his energy regen, and it also reduces the cooldowns on his abilities. That is the primary purpose of the Mantle of Terror. You can see the stat buffs here. But it wasn't really purchased too much back in the day. And part of that was Bulwark wasn't as good as it is now, so we buffed those things. But the other thing that I did was I made it grant the Battle Rights ability. After all, this gear is a spellcasting gear, so you should have some more energy. And the Battle Rights ability was a heal over time. And you can see there, it's really not that effective as a heal over time. Only 3 HP per second for 20 seconds. 60 HP per model heal is not great for Grey Knights who have a lot of HP. But this was because back when I added this, Grey Knights had no buffs to their HP regen. So you would often get into engagements and you would have very little HP. Because you just didn't have time to fully heal. So you can use the battle rights to heal up in between engagements. However, now that is no longer a problem because the Strike Squad and the Purifiers have very good regen. It's actually bugged at the time of this recording, but might be fixed by the time this replay is released if the new patch has come out. But even without that bug, they've got really good regen now, so you don't need the battle rights. The battle rights is free HP over 20 seconds for a reason. I didn't want it to be strong as a combat ability. This is a support Brother Captain build. It's meant to be good when used in between fights to heal your units, but your energy would be better spent, you know, on We Are the Hammer and similar things like that. So I just wanted to talk about that, because I see people... So, right, you've just listened to all that then, and I've interrupted the game for it. Here's the question for you. Why did I start rambling on about all that? What is my criticism here for Guruskippy? What do you think? Why has he bought the Mantle of Terror? A spell-casting armor that reduces the cooldowns of your abilities when he has no other war gears. He doesn't have the warding staff to cast ward on his allied units to make them immune to the knockback from the old reliable and to give them damage resistance as they fight in melee. He doesn't have beautiful bionic eye play here to boost the speed of the Kadashans and then exploit the fire on the move and extra damage with the melter gun. Is he going to kill it? Oh, he kills the Razorback. And now the Lehman Russ is out. Quite a dominating game, to be honest, from Zeraf here. There's no way he can lose, surely, when he's got a Lehman Russ out now.
Good show, sir.
Yeah, Guru concedes. So, yeah, no warding staff, right? You could have gone the Nemesis Demon Hammer, and you could be spamming the Yeet ability. I would just go for the warding staff, really, if you're going to go for the spellcasting build. And then you can get the Bulwark spell. Or you could get Psychic Lash. Psychic Lash would slow down and damage the Commissar to control him. Or you can target it on the Kadashan Devils and, you know, with the Die Last models, you can do a really good amount of damage to them. Maybe even retreat wipe them. And you would get extra reduced cooldown from your Mantle of Terror. That would be a good use of the war gear. Now, that said, I think in this instance, as I said early on, man, there's a lot of dead units here, isn't there? Jesus. I think it would have been better here to actually just go for the Halberd and the Aegis and Unending Purge and keep charging into the Kadashan Devils and bleeding them with a splash from the BC. Because the BC was actually getting in combat quite a lot. You can see at the end here, again, he's in melee combat with the Kadashans. If you've got the Nemesis Force Halberd and you're doing a lot more damage per hit and splash, you're going to kill Kadashans really quick and you're going to bleed the IG a lot, so he isn't tier 3 with a Lehman. But yeah, I scoff at this. To get the Mantle of Terror for the Battle Rights heal, terrible. Extremely weak investment. Okay, he has We Are the Hammer as well, so he gets a 20% cooldown reduction on that. Is that worth the war gear? I don't think so, guys. So I just wanted to point that out for all you aspiring BC players out there. It's something to consider. Don't get the Mantle of Terror on its own. It's not a good investment on its own. Right now, honestly, Battle Rights is pretty superfluous due to how much healing you get anyway on your Strike Squad and your Purifiers. Maybe if you've gone for a lot of Inquisitorial units, you know, maybe you've gone for triple IST in a team game or something, maybe then that free HP per second for 20 seconds is better, because of course free HP per second is better for IST or Operatives than it is for Grey Knights. Because Grey Knights, it's not percentage, right? Grey Knights have way more HP per model. And this heals every model. So yeah, just something to consider there. From a game that actually was relatively favoured for Zeraf for most of this, it's tough. How do you deal with triple Kadashans, man, without Purgation? Really hard. But then you go Purgation, you don't have any detection, and you suffer against IEDs. Really, really tough matchup for the Ordo Malleus, this one. But that's going to be all for you, boy Torpid, this time. I am going to be signing out.